Before I introduce the panelists, let me say a little bit about ICF. And unfortunately, Mokhtar has left for another engagement. But what he talked about, job creation and growth that is coming out of the continent, has so much to do with the initiative that was taken 6 years ago to create the Investment Climate Facility. It was out of recognition that job creation will come from economic growth, which will come from investments, and the investments will come from the private sector. The private sector will invest only when the business environment is conducive. Now, what he also mentioned was that there has been growth, but very little jobs created. And he cited the example of the taxi driver, whom he said, he could not eat growth. The problem lies in the fact that majority of jobs are likely to come from small and medium enterprises, rather than the big mining companies, the Coca-Colas, and so on. If you look at the large companies that operate on the continent, they make a few thousands. Multiply by 50 or 100 jobs that each one of them can create in a year, you end up with just a few 100,000 jobs added year in, year out. On the other hand, when you look at the small and medium enterprises, there are millions of them. If each one of them could create one additional job, then we could create millions of jobs in a particular country. However, these small and medium enterprises face challenges. The business environment for them is not conducive. When they want to start up businesses, it takes days, months, in some cases even a year. When they have a commercial dispute, it takes years to resolve. If they have to clear goods through customs, it's a process that takes months, weeks if they are lucky, and costs a lot of money. We have been working in many countries, and we'll hear examples, one of which is Cape Verde, and efforts have been made to really change the business environment in many African countries. I salute the governments on the continent for having taken measures. It's no accident that we see these growth rates, we see these investments. It's because African governments have taken serious measures to improve the business environment. If I cite one example, and we have about 50 projects, and it's not my intention to really go through each one of them. But if you take just business registration in Rwanda, in 2007, it used to cost $443 to register a business. It took more than 30 days to register that business, and there were 13 procedures. The result is, in 2007, there was no company registered in Rwanda. If you fast forward to 2011, the cost of registering a business in Rwanda was either $25 if you went to the registration bureau, or $0 if you opted to do it online. Procedures were reduced to 2, and the result is that 6,000 companies were registered in the year. I can cite very many examples, but I'll let the panelists talk about their personal experiences.
Doing business in Africa. You can't afford to be without Africa Investor.